My name is Daniel Sichilongo. I'm the Secretary General of the Green Party of Zambia, trying to change the world one day at a time. I find ways and solutions in which to make a better world. And this is the major thing that pushed me into politics. A lot of people will ask me at a young age, why are you a politician? And I believe for you to really make the change, you need to have that political influence, because nothing functions without political will. And we've seen that our systems across the globe in governance and in leadership have been corrupt for years. So for once, we have an opportunity and a chance as young people to take part in decision making at the highest level. I think there's a lot of inequalities, especially in Africa, which are much deliberate and would not be there if people just cared a little bit more. Because of this, a lot of people have suffered, a lot of people have died. So if we're going to change something, someone has to do it. And I vowed and spared time in my life to make sure that I can make a difference in accordance to my capabilities. And that's what I want to do. First of all, I must be able to influence my environment, which is the people around me, the communities around me. But somehow, somewhere, we must be able to influence the mindset, what people think, how they think, what they perceive, because change starts in the mind. If you can perceive something and have knowledge that something is not correct, then the change can start thereof. Because we have situations in sub-Saharan Africa and Africa in general where people do not necessarily see a problem because they do not understand the injustice that is happening. And because I feel it is abnormal, this is where I step in as a change maker. The education is pretty bad. It is a type of education that makes one a person who will want to work to earn a living, not to work to change the world or to work to improve other people's lives. But if we cared more, and if we had an education that empowers people to stretch out and spread out the love that they have for people, I feel we would have a better Africa and we would have a better world. We feel in Zambia we have an opportunity because Zambia is not really fully damaged industrially. We can take steps that other countries did not take in terms of managing environment. That if you sustain yourselves with proper decisions, sustainable decisions today, it means you can guarantee a future for the next generation and all generations to come. So instead of acting irresponsibly and making decisions that will deter the future generations, we will make decisions that are sustainable for other people to also enjoy life as we are enjoying. I think on all three levels you have mentioned. On an African perspective, again, we have not respected each other and built that unity surrounding the resources that we have. So you will find that Africa is a very rich continent, except it has a majority of very poor people. This should not happen in a normal setting. And because we have engaged in a greedy system and values as Africans, we have made a lot of people suffer and probably even die. On a world perspective, capitalism in itself may be a danger. But if it is managed well, I feel each and every person can have a piece of the pie. I anticipate that we will have a sustainable future, a green future, if only we as young people play our part, be the change that we want to see and influence others to come up in the same way. So my aim is to leave this planet a better planet than I found it. As much as I found it a distraught place, I would want to leave it a peaceful and sustainable place. Well, corruption in Zambia is very, very high, especially in institutions like the police. There is very, very high corruption, which really affects the development of this country. You cannot develop if resources are corrupted, or if systems are corrupted so much so that people cannot manage to place well resources in key sectors like education, health, and other industrial sectors that can develop this country. Because if those resources were meant to develop 17 million people and it goes to a few individuals, below 100, then definitely these people will suffer. One man can change the world, but not with his own influence, with the influence that influences many. And with many, we have the strength in numbers. To build a sustainable world, we need to act positively towards our environment, to protect each other's rights and ensure that injustice does not thrive. I believe at this very point in time, I've been given an opportunity to speak by Nicholas, who is my current neighbor. So in whatever setting you are, be good to your neighbor, understand their problems, and ensure that together as a partnership, we make everything count. We make the right decisions. We make sustainable decisions. The problem is already there, and the problem won't solve itself by us complaining. The problem will be solved if we come together, unite, and make the best about the opportunity that is currently there. We need, as former colonies, to wake up and not fall into the trap. So it is not enough for us to simply thank the colonizer, to say, you gave us space and we are liberated. Liberation is not a word. Liberation is in mind, liberation is in economy, liberation is in action. And as long as we are not economically liberated, we are not a free people. So we need to work towards the true freedom, which is economic freedom. And if we can have economic freedom, Zambia and Africa at large can be a force to reckon with. And believe me, the world will benefit from a sustainable Africa, a well-managed Africa, a united Africa, which means it would bring up a sustainable world, a green world, a good world.